Okay. Some of the lights, guys. There we go, so I can see everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? That's all you got? How is everybody doing tonight? Before we get started, you ever have an idea that you think in your head is just pretty cool, and then you gotta do it, and you get up here and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah. This is that situation. You may know Matt Thomas here. He was up just a few minutes ago from the band, what are you, Josh and the Jet Noise? That's what you go by now? And he also does a podcast called RoboTuner's Insignificant Podcast. Gotta get keyboard down in my monitor. That is way fucking loud. There we go. Good. My name is Dustin. I'm from the Jerry Jonestown Massacre. But tonight, you can call Matt Deacon Thomas, and I'm Father Schneider. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to honor and say goodbye to the Funkytown podcast. For 6 years, Jeff and his crew have served our community well, discovering and spreading knowledge of hidden gems and creating an impact on our local scene. I would be lying if I didn't say that the Funkytown podcast made the city of Fort Worth a better place to live. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
Right. The Funkytown podcast was an outlet for many of the esteemed artists and interesting people that make up the community here. Several bands made their broadcast debuts on Jeff's living room or at Joe's one-horn studio. But not many know the origins of the humble and beautiful creation of one Jeffrey Lord. If you would, and I hope all of you have them, please open your podcast Bibles to the book of Funky, chapter 1 and verse 1. And we'll read. And in the first year, Jeff spoke into a microphone and said, "Let there be sound." And at that moment, his voice was immortalized on the internet forever. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
If we continue into verse 2, it reads, "And in the second year, Jeff requested guests, and the guests came and spent time before him. Names like Ansley, Joe, Luke, and Ronnie, but none stand out more than one named Leon, who was on the verge of becoming a household name. And in the following years, the guests kept coming from all the surrounding neighborhoods within the 817 area code. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
In verse 3, Jeff looked upon what he created. And in year 3, he realized he needed a little help keeping things running smooth. So he invited a producer, a bass player, and a fun-loving hippie to join the show. Joe Tacky, a local music producer and bass player with a band called Mean Motor Scooter, opened up his studio for the Funkytown podcast, and he made it his mission to improve the sound and quality of the show. Quick on Joe's heels was Zach Zanatek, a bass player for My Happy Am and a creator of all sorts of wacky web content. Zach booked guests and added probably one of the best and longest running bits of the show, Funkytown Podcast, Zach Lives. And finally, after being shunned by some stupid, shitty podcast from Northeast Tarrant County,
The Jerry Jonestown Massacre.
the lovable Susie Ramone was accepted by Jeff with open arms, helping out wherever she could and eventually becoming the last, coolest celebrity female in Fort Worth, as voted on in the Fort Worth Weekly. We can see in this verse that with this crew helping Jeff out, the sky truly was the limit and great things were destined for the Funkytown podcast. Let's continue on to verse 4. In year 4, Jeff loved the Funkytown podcast so much that he gave the Hippie Bath Day celebration to the community. From what started as a birthday celebration for the creator, eventually became a celebration of the Funkytown podcast. And eventually, it brought us to tonight's celebration, the Funkytown podcast Fakesgiving. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
As we continue in verse 5, and in the 5th year, on a whim, the Funkytown podcast created what might be one of the most controversial episodes of their entire run. While it was exciting and funny to some, it aggravated and upset the terrestrial overlords that broadcasted the Funkytown podcast over their airwaves. Yes, it was the historic Pokemon Go episode, where Jeff, Joe, and Susie took the podcast to the streets of Fort Worth to play the trending mobile app of the day. They visited stops, they attacked gyms, and pissed off a random passerby that stated that recording audio was illegal. Obviously, this chick did not own any recorded music at all. I hate fucking iPad. Hold on. Technology, right? It's 2020. So, as we move on to year 6, it was in the 6th year that the Funkytown podcast that Jeff made a discovery while browsing the internet. A group of normal, everyday dudes got together on Friday nights in their garage and recorded some of the funniest, greatest funky tunes and secretly uploaded them to Bandcamp. After a little bit of research and communication, Garage Barrage entered our lives and spread like a plague across Egypt. Except without killing your firstborn and death and, locusts and all that shit. Let's see. Yes, Jeff unleashed a new band into our community, and the community rejoiced. I know for a fact that the guys in Garage Barrage are forever grateful for Jeff for stumbling upon them. But I think those of us in the community are grateful for being able to experience y'all's art. You, all of you guys, it's been great becoming friends with you guys. You guys are truly great. Thank you. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
And finally, in verse 7, we read, Jeff, Susie, Joe, and Zach looked upon what they created and were proud. Jeff had accomplished what he had set forth, creating an audio record of the Fort Worth scene during this time period of its life. As the Funkytown podcast enters its 7th year, Jeff felt it was time to rest and enjoy the fruits of his labor. And just like that, the Funkytown podcast comes to an end. I don't know if there's a woo there. It's kind of a sad day, actually. So we're here to say goodbye to the Funkytown podcast. And I'm trying not to get emotional here. For those of us that have enjoyed it all these years, it will live on in our memory and, of course, the internet. If you will, please bow your heads and let's say a little prayer. Dear Podfather Adam Curry, we come before you tonight asking you to be with each and every one of us as you say goodbye to the Funkytown podcast. We know that goodbyes can be a time of grief and sorrow, but tonight we want it to be a celebration. May the Funkytown podcast and those that affect it have it forever etched in their memory. And if for some reason they need a reminder of its greatness, may the podcast live on the internet forever, as long as Jeff still pays the storage bill. We ask all this in your name and in the name of your podcast son, Joe Rogan. Amen.
Amen.
I know I'm not alone when I say the Funkytown podcast made a major impact on our local scene, and it truly will be missed. The Funkytown podcast is survived by Ghost Emoji, Fish Nerds, No Agenda, The Bed Files, RoboTuner's Insignificant Podcast, and, of course, the Jerry Jonestown Massacre. Jeff, get a little serious here. Put all this bullshit behind. The bit's done. I want to say thank you. I think when you told me it was coming to an end, we had some. Wow, that's fucking fantastic. Sorry. Trying to get Settle Miller here, and he got a fucking off. I'm playing one goddamn note. Jeez. We had some exchanges back and forth, but I think one of the things I said was, when you're inside of this, doing what we do, creating silly shit on the internet, you kind of forget about how it really impacts people and what it does, and how you've really helped out bands around here, and you have made Fort Worth a better place. You've helped the music scene. You've helped so many bands get known. There are so many. The 3 bands that are playing tonight, I heard on your show. So, just want to say thank you to you. Thank you to Susie. Thank you to Joe, wherever the fuck you ran off to. You're back over there. And Zach. Zach's over in this shirt. Thank you guys. Y'all's friendships mean everything to me. It's been a fun ride, and I only hope the future holds a whole lot more. Thank you. Now there's one more thing. This is the part I don't like. Yeah, it's that. So every year the Fort Worth, for 6 years, well, what, 5 years? Fort Worth Weekly, when they do their music awards, when they release the ballot, we like to go through, you don't need to play this shit. So the Fort Worth Weekly releases a ballot every, goddamn, now you guys run up to the stage. Fuck off. So every year, when the Fort Worth Weekly Music Award ballot comes out, we make a bet. And this one we're actually paying off on the bet. You paid off on the bet. The bet was whoever lost had to wear a swimsuit to the other's event. And we tied. For last. And you wore a swimsuit to our show, 3 months ago, whatever. When it was warm and it was nice. Now it's cold outside and there's, I don't know, shrinkage factor. So, need help? I hope there's no children in here because I don't know if this thing's still on me. Let me look. Let me fix this. All right.
Tuck it.
Cover my nipples up. Jeffrey Lord, this is for you. There you go.
Gross.
Good night. Thank you, guys. Coming up next is Rat.